Hey everyone. Yes, it's me, I'm back. Again, I'm in that predicament where I just haven't bought a tripod. So it's not a cabbage. This time with the camera, it's a table and a rock and a bit of clump dirt. Seems to be doing the trick. But anyway, today I am planting my tomatoes. So I do grow a lot of tomatoes from seed, but there was a couple of varieties, just pull that weed out, that I couldn't get in seed, that I could get in seedlings, which was bizarre because usually it's the other way around. And I know a lot of people do grow tomatoes and other veg from seedlings, so I thought I'd kind of go through it today. So I've arranged a few of these seedlings out. You can see, like here's one here. I've literally just broke them up. You'll get about 6 in a punnet, and I've placed them along the veg beds where I want them to grow. Because of the width of this veg bed as well, I'm placing them kind of closer to the end, or to the edge I should say. Not really to the edge, but just a little bit closer, just so I don't have to step on the bed to get them. This bed in particular is pretty much a little bit too wide in reality, but you know, you just adapt. So first thing with your seedlings, I was going to plant them yesterday, but it was about 32 degrees, so it was a bit too hot. They would just have wilted. Today's overcast, as you can probably tell, and it might rain later on, which would be great. But nonetheless, with my seedlings, I kept them, they came in the bag, I left them in the bag, I put them in a shady spot that I knew was going to be in shade all day. Don't forget, when you put them somewhere, it's easy to put them in what is the shade now, forget about them, and then hours later realise that they've been in the sun for an hour baking away and they're lost. So, put them somewhere where they're going to be in the sun all day. And I gave them a good water as well. So, I watered the ground here yesterday as well, which was a pain in the backside because I used water. We haven't got a pump here, so I had to carry water back and forth from the dam to water it because I'm not using any mains water here in this veg garden. So that was an effort in the heat. And I watered the tomatoes as well, so they're nice and moist. Okay, so you might get a little bit of transplant shock, which you can use a plant starter for if you wanted to water it in. Don't worry about it. Just make sure that they're really well watered in to begin with, and that the ground where you're putting them in is well watered. And I don't know if you can see it, but I've got a watering can back there as well, just to water in. So first thing, this area you can see it's been mulched really nicely. So what I'm going to do, I'll do a couple. Clear away your mulch, dig a little hole out. You can use a trowel, I'm just using my hands. Place your seedling in. Pat it down nicely. Get everything back in. Mulch back around. I'll give it a quick water in. Okay, and that's it. Now, I should say too, normally I would have had my stakes in firstly, but I haven't. I couldn't find the height for the stakes, and these were sitting around. I can't get to anywhere to get the stakes, so I didn't want these to be sitting. So unfortunately, I'll put them in later. The reason you would put them in first is that once the tomatoes got to a good size and that root system started to go out, when you hammer a stake in, you can risk hammering it straight through one of the root systems and damaging the plant. So if it goes in first, now this applies to anything you plant. If you've dug a hole, for example, put your stake in and then put your tree in or plant and go from there. Right, now I'll do one more. Alright, this one's a little bit smaller. Same deal, clear away the mulch, dig a hole, pop it in, make sure it's nice and upright, mulch back around, good amount of mulch. This is sugarcane mulch that I'm using. water it in. And there you go. Easy. Now I was going to say something else and I've forgotten what it was. These are Groslis tomatoes. Even more unusual for not finding them in seed this year. I don't know what the story is, but anyway. Now I've got about 25 to put in today. I'll probably have about 40 to 50 tomatoes in on the whole this season. Alright, hope that all made sense. It's good to be back. If you have any queries, give me a yell. You can go to the website, which is theproducegarden.com. Have a look. There's a few new things and bits and pieces on there. I'm always fluffing around with it. Or you can follow me on Twitter. I think it's just Produce Garden Twitter//Produce Garden. Or you can have a look on the Facebook page. There is a Produce Garden Facebook page as well, and I pretty much put a lot of photos and bits and pieces up on there too. So if you really want to know what I'm up to, besides on these videos, you can jump on there and have a squiz. Alright, any questions, give me a yell. Hope that all made sense. Good gardening. I'll see you soon.